And welcome to my boat repair adventures of Talwar part 3. Part 3 of what's going on, really. So yeah, let's continue where we left off, I guess. So here we go. Let's have a little look around. We've got Bob here, is ready to supervise this morning. He's keen and ready to go. We've also got list of operations today, which should all be achievable. Coffee which has been destroyed already. We'll probably have another one of them later. And let's have a look at where we're up to, because we are making progress. So this, as you probably saw from my last videos, hairline fractures. I had a bit of a drama with that. Well, not drama, I say yes, I phoned one company and essentially they asked, I sent them some very high quality pictures, detailed, well, showing all the cracks and the problems, and they were a bit reluctant to give me a price, and asked me to send it down to them. Now, when I pushed the guy on the phone, he said, I said, what's the worst case scenario? Come back to me with 1,500 quid, and obviously my jaw dropped. Done a little bit of phoning around, and I think I found a guy who's about 2.5 hours away that will do it. Where are we? Let's turn the camera around, Yeah, a guy that will do it for I think he said £100 or 85 quid. So literally one extreme to the other. Don't always take what you first deal with boats for what you can get things done for, because I do think, if I'm honest, when it comes to boats, there's a lot of people out there that are ready to take your pants down, and that was quite apparent. I mean, I don't know if they just didn't want to do the work or they were just chancing it with 1,500 quid, but I did Google search on this other company, good reviews, so I'm guessing it must be a guy who knows his trade and who's doing it for a reasonable price. So that's happening. We're taking it up there on Monday to get that done. What else have we got? So it's been quite an interesting finding out what I've actually got. So it turns out I got this apart, found out what it was. This is a U-joint for a 1962. Oh, where are we? A U-joint for a 1962 Morris Minor. Now, yeah, don't know why that was used on this particular installation, or a installation or modification to the drive shaft system, but that's what we've got, and that's on its way, so this can start to go back together. This is my bearing, and as you can see there, it's a little bit knackered. It's got play in it, and before she come out she was squealing like a good one, so this is going to get replaced. Got to search that and order that, but that's all good. We're going to start to put the stern gown back together today, and I'm going to do some various bits and bobs on the outside. We're going to get Bob working too. Going to rub that down that rudder, go from there really. So yeah, onwards and upwards to part 3. I'll get some more videos and go from there. Hope you enjoy. And yeah, cool. as you've just seen, we've done the rudder and we've done some of the fiberglass filling on the various different parts of the boat, the back and the underneath the left hand side where the kill cooling is. Unfortunately, I don't think I use enough hardener on the back, so I've got to go out and check that and see if that's actually dried up properly. So that being said, anyway, reasonable progress. Done a little bit more wood yesterday because I was sort of waiting for stuff to dry. I haven't got the paint that I need for the rudder, so I've got to go and pick that up today. Yeah, so we did what we could, and now we're progressing onto the work on the inside. So look, let's have a look. So let's turn the camera down. So what we got here is the stern gland and the end of the stern tube. So me and my wisdom, when I was taking it all apart, let's see if I'll get the light on that a bit better. There was a bit of wood around here holding this joint in place. Now I can't move this at all. There's no movement on it whatsoever. But I did chip away all the wood. So there is still a tiny bit of wood at the bottom which I couldn't really access. But I'm thinking I need to reinforce that and get that solid. Well, not that I can move it, but get it. I'm going to put some fiberglass around it, get some fiberglass under there. Because as you can see, these are studs and they do have nuts that go on the end. Like I say, not that I've been able to move it at all. It's literally solid. So I actually believe that it's part of the stern tube by the looks of it, or clamps onto the end of the stern tube, which is in place at both ends. Let me see if this is too, yeah, this is still too hot to touch because it's been in the fire. I've been trying to, well, heating it up, just trying to bend the ends down because as you can see, it's a little bit distorted. So that goes, this, I won't touch that because it is red hot. That goes on the end of the shaft and slides down onto here. And then we have, let me flip over the other side. Hang on. Oh. Yeah, so this is this morning's mission. Then we have in here all the stern gland packing. Oh, it does. Oh, hang on, actually. I wonder if that has moved. That looks like that would be centre. Well, we'll find out when we start putting it back together if I need to adjust it. Yeah, so we got the packing that goes in there, and then that bit there pushes it down, keeps it watertight. So the bearing actually sits here. And you have the U-joint from a Morris Minor 1962 is there between the shaft from the engine and the end of the prop, the end of the propeller shaft. So yeah, let's crack on and see how far I get. I'm gonna probably clean all this up and paint it all up to make it look a bit nicer. And I'm gonna measure this as well now, just to check that we've got the same tolerances on each side, because that to me right there does look like it's moved over a bit, and that's going to need to be level, isn't it? So yeah, okay, onwards and upwards. I took my prop up to a place called Streamline Propellers up in Norfolk, and very helpful guy actually. He had a close look at it and did determine that the hairline fractures on the blade were too close to the boss. If he was going to have a go at it, he reckoned that one of the actual blades would come off. So yeah, he said it couldn't be done, but he did give me information on where to get one made, and how to increase thrust, because those that have seen some of my other videos will know that I put a new engine in the boat too, and that it revs very well. So I'd like to increase the thrust a bit. So there's 3 ways this can be done. The first way is to add a blade, to make it a 4-blade. It's currently 3-blade. Second way would be to increase the actual diameter. And then the third way would be to increase pitch. So I have to have a little measure up underneath and see how much clearance I have from the top of the boat and the skeg. Yeah, so I think we'll do that. But yeah, point being, the guy was very helpful, very knowledgeable, and I highly recommend Streamline Propellers. He was gonna, if he could repair it, he said it would have been 85 quid. So yeah, that's a bit better than 1500, isn't it? Let's be frank. Okay, so you've probably, you've seen that all this has been cleaned out in here. And now I'm just finishing, well, I've got to stick a little bit of fiberglass around here, because there was a bit of wood here that I took out with a hammer and chisel, which, well, I thought it held this in place. There's obviously bolts here, well, studs with nuts that go on, but didn't actually manage to move this at all, even when the wood was out of place. So don't quite know what it was. And yeah, it's all back in. I just need a bit more fiberglass around the bottom here to make sure this is all sealed up, just in case there was any, well, to hold it all in place. And what we're doing now is we're starting to put all the drivetrain back together. So what we've got here is my stern gland. Here's a stern gland packing. There's one of the old bits that I took out, that I kept, so I could measure or just cut to length the new packing. Now I've already stuck about, I think it's 4 of these in there, because they go in and they sit against each other, and they push right back to here, which stops once this is in place. So that slides on here like so. Then that pushes against it to stop all the water coming through. Now most of these are lubricated with grease. Mine isn't. It's just this, and I think this stuff, the old packing, was ever so tight and crushed down. So I think before she goes back in the water, I'm gonna crush this down a few times and try and get as much as I can in there to prevent any leakage, because there was always an occasional drip, but it was pretty good most of the time, 90% of the time. So let's see if I can get another one of these in here. So we should be able to. Let's have a little go. Let's get this on first. This doesn't. There we go. There we go. Right. You can see how that works now. So the nuts go on here, pushes it all down, compacts it all down. So what I'm going to do, get another one of these in. So let's crush that one down that's in there. He says. There we go. Yeah, so I think looking at that, it's already got a fair bit in there. What I'm going to need to do is actually compress that with the nuts before I can get this extra one in. Yeah, So what we're going to do then is get that in, get that on. I'm going to put the U-joint together shortly. Got a new bearing to go here. This is all, I'm going to start painting, I've cleaned it all up. It all needs to dry out before I get some bilge paint in there. So our next job right now is fiberglass, so we'll do that and crack on. Yeah. Right, so bringing part 3 to a conclusion. Yeah, I'm sort of getting there. Let's have a little look what's going on. Right, here we go. Let me turn you around. So we're looking fairly good. I have crushed this down. Got to open it up and put it back again. This is in, the bearing's in, but as you can see, there is a metal bar which goes under here to pull it up and support it, and now obviously it's got to sit at the correct height. But there's a couple of things I've got to do outside as well, because obviously I want to get my prop cutter on. Let's have a little look around, see. It's looking fairly nice. Got that end back on. General overview. Yeah, we've also got the new U-clamp. So if we have a look, let me move the light first, hang on. Put the light over here so it's out of the way. Actually see what's going on. We got I don't want to drop it in there, but you get the general idea. That sort of, that goes in place and sits between the engine shaft and the other end there. So I won't put that in until everything's lined up, because what I've got to do, oh there we go, let's come around here, it's a little bit tight. What I've got to do is work out how much space I need for the prop cutter and get that on as well. So where are we? There we go. Yeah, so what we got is that moves. There was never, I've got a nut for this shaft. I also need to get a new locking pin for this, because there's a bit of play in it, you see that? So that, I'll take that off, get a new locking pin, and I can finally work out exactly how much space I need for the prop cutter, and then I'll be able to lock it all up, tighten it all in, clamp the bearing down, and do that. But yeah, this is looking a lot better. It's in. It just needs, oh, these bolts at the back need tightening. I thought I was missing one of them, but I found it. Yeah, so generally quite good, generally quite pleased. Now I've got to take some measurements for the prop cutter and get it all in. This weekend's been rather successful, if I'm honest, and onwards and upwards, as we say. So yeah, part 3, progression session, happy days, and when I find, well, the next video will be on its way once I've figured out what I'm doing with it all. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.